by Burger King. Another glorious day for game number 3 here in Baltimore at Camden Yards. Early spring, and it is blue with a lot of sun. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For the Orioles, a 2-0 start. Yes, the Orioles have seen this before, and it's turned around. But listen, much better being 2-0 than 0-2 to kick it off. Let's take a look at the first 2 games. The O's did just about everything right. In the opener, it was Jake Arrieta making the start. No runs, 2 hits, and most importantly for the Orioles, 7 innings pitched. That's the standard Buck Showalter wants for the starters, and Arrieta set the stage. The opposite field home run, Markakis, first one in 2 years he's had. In game 2, Hunter, no earned runs, a couple unearned, 7 hits, again, going the 7 innings in the game and dominating. The bats of Jones, Markakis, and Wieters all delivering big hits in the game. The Orioles celebrate, and they start the season with a 2-0 mark and a lot of positives, Jim, even if it is just a couple of games.
Yeah, and it is the Minnesota. Let's be honest, the Twins are trying to find their footing. Lost 99 games. They do have Maurer and Morneau back, but Buck Showalter, the Orioles skipper, said it's not brain surgery when we talk about our starting pitching. We want them to go deep in the game and want them to throw a lot of strikes, and that's exactly what they've done. And on the way, the Orioles have played great defense, and they've got some timely hitting. They hit 3 solo home runs last night, and again early on, if you go back and look at the first inning, Gary Liriano comes out, strikes out the side, and then all of a sudden the game changed because Hunter shut the Twins down, and Adam Jones hit the solo home run on a pretty good pitch to right center field, and the Orioles are off to the races.
And they're off to the races again as they take the field for this first Sunday game of the season. It's the Orioles and the Twins as the O's will try and sweep the first series of the year with a victory today. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. It is a glorious day. Lots of sunshine, blue skies, not a cloud to be found. Take a look at our train game time temperature. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. 65 degrees and only 21% humidity. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup. It's brought to you by Dodge. For the Twins, Span, Carroll, Maurer, Morneau, Willingham, and Doman. Burrows, Hughes, and and Ben Revere get the starts. Josh Willingham, big numbers against the O's. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup.
Take a look at our scouting report on Jason Hammel. Fresh start. He comes over from the National League, playing with the Rockies in the Jeremy Guthrie trade along with Matt Lindstrom. Of course, we saw him years ago, 2006, 2008 with the Rays. So it is a fresh start for him, first start of the year. Very durable, 170 innings the last 3 years for the Rockies. And then down the slope, he's a big guy, 6'6". You talk. I had a chance to see him pitch in spring training, Gary, and I was very impressed. For a big guy, a lot of times you can't repeat your windup, but he had no problem. You talk to not only Rick Adair, the Oriole pitching coach, but a lot of the scouts that saw him pitch. They were surprised how good his curveball is. So he's got 4 pitches and an opportunity to really kind of carry on for what Ariana and Hunter started the season for the Orioles starters.
29-year-old right-hander on the mound who's 34 and 45, a lifetime. Taking on a Twins team that obviously comes in with a little vengeance here. You don't want to start the year getting swept in the first series you play. So they're going to be a little jacked up here as we get into this one. The Orioles, the same thing on the other side, wanting really to put away a club that they now feel they should and can beat, and want to do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, they've beaten them now 6 in a row going back to last season.
Denard Span leading it off. Span has gone 3 for 8 in this series. During the 6-game run against Minnesota that goes back to last year, the Orioles have outscored the Twins 34-6 in the last 6 games they've played. The 0-1 delivery, and Span will take it down low. Hammel will need to be efficient, as Arrieta and Hunter did, in order to get to that 7+ inning mark that he'd like to get to today in his start. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on Span, and he'll take the pitch outside. Matt Wieters working on the first Sunday. You got to believe that Wieters is not going to get a lot of time off here at the beginning of the year. Paulino, of course, with a great day at the plate, but they really want Wieters to be in charge of these pitchers, and so he's going to be out there, and he may have to wait a while before he's going to get a break. Fouled away, 2-2 on Span.
That's kind of interesting when you talk to Matt. The weather, I mean, it's almost been perfect. There's been a little bit of wind, but the temperatures in the 60s, and he said it's different. He said your lips get chapped. It's a little bit drier, but I think it also refreshes you. A lot different than July and August here in Baltimore.
2-2 delivery. Span down to first base. Big hop played by Davis. He got him. For Hammel, his position on this staff talked about today by the manager, Buck Showalter.
We're trying to basically pick up on what happened with him the last month and a half of the season over in Colorado, where they put him in a pen and did some other things with him, started, and they saw some things out of him, and our people saw some things out of him that they hadn't seen before. And we tried to take that and run with it. So, he struggles today and has, that's a hornet's nest over there in that locker room today. I guarantee they're not too happy. So, it doesn't happen. At some point it will. I think he's given himself a chance to have some success.
Jamie Carroll, a guy who's really done well off him. 6 for 12 for Carroll against Hammel. And that final month that Buck Showalter was talking about was the month of September, where Hammel really came on at his best month of the year. He allowed only 4 earned runs in 20 innings and held hitters to a 174 average in the month of September.
I was talking to him in spring training, and we went over, and Jimmy Johnson does a charity golf tournament, so came over early in the spring, watched him hit the golf ball, and right there he's a really good athlete. I said, how hard did you throw when you signed? 10th round draft choice. He said close to 100. So we're seeing a pretty good fastball already with velocity 94.
1-2 delivery is going to go to short. Hardy is there. Takes the throw over to first base and gets the out. And there are 2 down. There are the numbers, the career splits you see, Tampa Bay and Colorado.
Yeah, and you're looking at the Rays when they were not a winning team. That's when he pitched for them, and then Colorado's Colorado. He pitched a lot better on the road than he did at home. So the humidor did not affect him. But what I like about him, he's a big kid. He throws the ball downhill, and already I've seen some pretty good stuff. Great 2-seamer to get Carroll out.
And here is Joe Mauer, 2 down, nobody on in the first inning. Mauer's got a 1 for 6 going in the series so far. The Minnesota Twins, struggling last year with 99 losses, finishing 32 games out, have started this series hitting only .200 as a team, as opposed to the Orioles, who in the first 2 games have hit .306. And yeah, it's only 2 games, but it's 2 games.
Well, yeah, you don't want a trend. You know, their trend last year, they were the second worst pitching team and the second worst offensive team. They went from 781 runs to 619. Now, there were reasons for that. Span had a concussion. Maurer was hurt. The bilateral leg injuries, coming off knee surgery. Morneau battling concussions. So those guys are healthy, at least for the moment.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Maurer. It's away. Detroit's jumping on Boston again, 4-0. Red Sox having their problems getting going. The Yankees are finding out Tampa Bay is for real. Even if the pitchers don't do that well, their bats have. How about that? Tampa Bay was last in spring training in offense. They had the lowest batting average, fewest home runs, fewest runs, and all that stuff. As soon as the season starts, they're on top of the pile. Chavez coming. He's going to have time to get over there and puts it away. So Hammel starts with a 1-2-3 first inning. The Orioles Easter Sunday lineup coming up. Well, the job done by Hammel to retire the side in order. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They've got Chavez, Hardy, and Markakis, Jones, Wieters, and Johnson, Benavides, Davis, and Andino. In April, Robert Andino, 40 games, .333. Had a big start to it last year and has kicked it off pretty good this year.
Take a look at our scouting report for Anthony Swarzak. We saw him last year in relief, but a twin. What is a twin? That's what Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, talks about. They throw a lot of strikes. He does have 4 pitches. Well, he needs to step up because, again, Liam Hendricks from Australia was supposed to be the starting pitcher. Food poisoning. They need a win. He can certainly help that. And then for him, you know, he's had a chance over the last couple of years to get an opportunity to start. So this is another audition. It's not a must-win game, but it's certainly a game on Easter they'd love to win. They need a win badly.
Second-round pick, 2004, by the Twins. Swarzak starts it out with a pitch to Chavez inside for a ball. And Chavez getting the start in left field, as promised by Buck Showalter. He and Nolan Reimold will share some time out there in the Orioles' interchangeable parts season, as I think that term is used by Buck Showalter about 50 times a day. He's making it very clear, and he's really saying it for the players to hear, that he intends to have a lot of different lineups and use a lot of people depending on who they're playing, who's pitching, in order to give them the best chance to win.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, you match up, you see who's hot, you let everybody know they're going to have to perform and do it at certainly a high level to get their name in the lineup. A lot of times your performance dictates whether you play or not.
Yep.
At least on winning teams.
1-2 is inside, and the thing that has to happen if you're going to do that, and he was talking about a couple teams in the past he's had where he did change lineups all the time. You got to put your ego in your back pocket. The days you don't start, you just got to be prepared to do whatever's asked of you that day. And that sometimes can be tough for guys who want to play every day, which is also how you want them to feel. But you got to be doing it for the ball club. And a 3-ball 2-strike count on Chavez.
And it's a lot easier to do that, Gary, as you know, when you win.
Yeah. Yep.
You will subjugate your ego for the good of the team.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're playing for the name on the back of the uniform.
3-2 delivery, and that's going to be in the air to right field. Then Rivera coming on, and he will put it away. Chavez is retired.
Let's take a look at the Twins defense. Willingham, couple of errors last night. Span can go get him. Revere also terrific right fielder, even though he can play center. Burrow, Sean Burrow is in the lineup. Carroll, Hughes out of Australia, and then Joe Mauer. He took ground balls at first base. Ryan Doman, who played right field opening day, now behind the plate, so they get Mauer's bat in there. And again, he said he hadn't taken ground balls since 2002 at first.
Breaking ball is going to miss away. Here's J.J. Hardy, a 1 for 6 in the series. Hardy, of course, with the Minnesota Twins in the 2010 season. He hit .268 for him that year. And then coming over to the Orioles, where he had the great year last year. Hardy has done well against his former team. He's got a lifetime .301 batting average with 4 home runs against the Twins. 1-1 delivery taking outside. And a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, if you have your druthers and you look at the 30 home runs and you're pitching against JJ, you want to either stay in on his fist or try to throw him something that's spinning and try to keep it away. And here they're going to come in again.
And he got it in the air to left field, way back. Goodbye, home run, J.J. Hardy.
Boy, how many times have we seen this? They got a young pitcher on the mound. Ryan Doman, he slides to the inside corner. They're trying to go in, and if you don't get in this ballpark, especially to a guy that attacks the ball like JJ does, you're going to throw some home runs. And that's exactly what he did.
His first of the year. Now 5 home runs for the Orioles in these first 3 games. And the Orioles again go on top with a 1-0 lead, using the long ball to get there. Schwartz gave up a total of 9 home runs in 102 innings last year. And here is Nick Markakis.
Yeah, let's see, he's sitting inside. He has to reach back across the plate, but he never gets to catch it. Who does catch it? And again, I mean, this is a guy that loves the ball. You can watch the extension of his arms. Loves to get those arms extended. No different than a lot of home run guys.
Nick Markakis with the big cut. There is Hardy. Hardy last season 15 home runs here and 15 home runs on the road. He split them right down the middle. Markakis already, of course, with a couple of home runs. He's 5 for 7, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in this series. And he came inside on him that time in a 1-ball 2-strike count. The O's with homers in the first 2 games of the season. There since '54 are those who have done it: Orsino, Robinson, Palmeiro, Melvin Mora, and now Nick Markakis.
That was one of my first catchers, John Orsino. One of the 3 catchers back when I broke in.
Hadn't heard that name for a while.
Well, you know, John Orsino comes out of New Jersey, and he kind of made a decision. Do I want to be the drummer for Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, or do I want to play baseball? Big mistake. Great guy, but I think I might have been hammering on the drums.
He'd still be on Broadway?
Yes, he would. Yeah. I think he's now a golf pro down in South Florida.
Markakis will foul that one back.
Terrific guy. You know, the 3 catchers when I broke in were Dick Brown, Charlie Lau, who went on to be one of the great hitting instructors, and John Orsino, and both of them had bad elbows, so Dick Brown was our regular catcher. It's like John was the only guy that won. I was so wild because I'd bounce the ball at 100 miles per hour. He's the only one. He was so frustrated not playing and his arm hurt. He didn't mind catching.
He didn't mind catching.
No.
Fouled away again.
They used to flip a coin to see who lost, so they had to catch me. It was and John goes, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yep.
I need the work. He may kill me, but at least I'll get a day's pay. 1-ball 2-strike count. Markakis, if he could pick up a home run today, would join Frank Robinson, the only Oriole to homer in the first 3 games.
Yeah, they're going to try to stay on his fist.
And he'll take it the other way. Willingham going over. Tough play. Reaching out. And did he get it? He got it. Nice catch. Third base umpire Jeff Nelson hustling down there as he disappears from our view when he gets into that corner. It's a nice catch.
So a couple of errors last night on pretty routine plays, and then here's your degree of difficulty. They padded that wall. And it's a good thing because I don't know. Of course, he could break a wall as big as he is. But what a terrific catch. You can see Anthony Swarzak saying just the way I wanted it. So hard stuff. They're not going to speed up Markakis' bat. Not when you throw 93.
So 2 down, and here's Adam Jones. Adam off to a good start. Couple of hits to at bats. Home run. RBI. Slider's going to catch the outside corner. Swarzak is 7 wins and 14 losses in his brief so far major league career. He is 26 years old. He is 0-1 against the Orioles. Did he go around? And they check it first, and he says yes. Swarzak pitched against the Orioles last season. Worked in relief. And that has been it. 3 1/3 innings, giving up 5 earned runs in the only appearance he's had. That was August 25 of 2011. A 2-strike count. The indications on check swings are going to go the season as they have started here this first week. Hitters are not going to be particularly happy, but the umpires have jacked up the strikes on check swings if it's even remotely close. They're trying to get him to chase away 2-2. Adam getting his first look at the Twins right-hander. Infield playing him to pull the ball. Shortstop deep and over to third. He goes the other way, and he's going to get a base hit. Yes. The old dying quail to right. And Jones is on with his 3rd hit of the year.
Yeah, he smokes a home run, and then you'll take them all. That's the one thing about Adam. I mean, right here, I mean, it's a pretty good pitch, and you can see just kind of gets it up middle of the bat right on the trademark. And then just kind of, we're going to see a lot of these shots in the Masters, the 60-degree wedge, the flop shots, and it spins it into right field.
Adam's got a little smile on his face. Those things even out in the course of a year.
Well, you want to get the bloops along with the blasts.
Yes.
And he had the blast last night.
And that will give Matt Wieters an opportunity. And Jones leaning a little bit, has to dive back in. Matt has had a home run, 1 for 5, couple of RBIs. Picked up that one last night. They put a shift on against him, not a complete one, but they shift. They move Burrows, the third baseman, way over to short. Second baseman deep on the grass. We're seeing more and more the employment of shifts that you would not have seen in past years as the scouting reports become even more detailed and more readily available on a minute-by-minute basis. Even right-handers are now seeing shifts against them in the infield.
Well, you're trying to play percentage baseball, and as Mike Bordick told us on opening day, and any infielder will tell you, is that a lot of times those shifts are predicated on, at least as being successful, on how well you can command your stuff. I like it when they put a shift on and then they pitch the guy down and away. I mean, you know, you got to pull a left-handed hitter like Ortiz, and then you're throwing him 95-mile-per-hour fastballs down and away, and he's hitting it to the left. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
well, one of the axioms of baseball, you pitch to your D, right?
You're supposed to. And of course, if you can do that, you know, your infielders can lean, your outfielders can shade. If you have mobile outfielders, you know, like if you look at the Twins, they're very mobile in center and right. Willingham doesn't have great range, even though he made a very nice play. So can you hit the glove?
2-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be a bloop out towards left field. Willingham coming, and he will put that one away. Wieters retired. The Orioles get a run on a couple of hits, no errors, 1 left. It's J.J. Hardy's turn. He goes to the long ball here in the first inning to get his first of 2012 and give the Orioles the lead. Of a 3-game set against the Yankees, Brian Mattis takes the mound against Ivan Nova. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 6:30 with those extra, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. Of the game is Lucretia Bird from Baltimore. Lucretia, you already won $500, and for every strikeout that the Orioles pitched during today's game, you are going to win $100 more from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn non-winning strike-it-rich scratch-offs into cash. Enter to win great Orioles prizes at mdlottery.com/strike-it-rich today. Lucretia Bird, good luck. Justin Morneau, the second inning. Morneau designated hitter today. 3 hits, 8 at-bats so far in the series, and he'll put that one back into the screen. Regarding the concussion problems so far for Morneau, so good.
Yeah, Denard Span, who also had concussions, maybe not as severe as Justin was talking about. Again, you know, you go to spring training, you don't have the travel like you have during the regular season.
That one to center field. Jones going back, turns around, got it.
Yeah, like a 270. Tracked it though. Looked like he hit it pretty well. I think he just got it up on the bat enough to. And again, where do you want to pitch? We've already seen Hardy with a home run to left center. If you can, especially nowadays when we have some things in effect, pitch to the middle of the ballpark. So again, pretty much middle of the plate, but just gets it up on the bat enough where he doesn't center it. But anyway, Denard Span was just saying, you know, you just hope that everything kind of settles down when you start the major league season, where you're playing day games, night games, traveling, getting in early in the morning. So far a go for Justin Morneau.
Yep.
And Denard.
And Span. Josh Willingham, 2 for 7, a home run, couple of RBIs. He's had good numbers against Hammel. 2 guys in the lineup Hammel's struggled against have been Carroll and Willingham. Willingham's 4 for 10 with a home run lifetime off Jason Hammel. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and scooped up as that one falls away, as did Hammel on the follow through, and a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
And usually when you look at the numbers as you see on our screen right here, at least the guys that used to hit me, that means they're either good hitters, and Willingham can hit the ball out. If you don't make good pitches, they see the ball well. You can see him trying to get him out with breaking stuff. So, and in doing that, he falls behind. So let's see what he's going to throw now in a fastball count to a fastball hitter.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Outfield deep. Wind blowing out towards left center field. Came back inside. Will miss with that.
Yeah, the amazing thing about Jason is that very rarely will you see a veteran pitcher not have his hand in the glove. So you see his whole wrist. And the reason you put the glove, we're not going to see it here, but when we go back to the windup, we'll go back to it, is that you want to hide the ball. Because when you have your wrists exposed, if you turn it at all, they pick up change up, breaking ball, and whatever. But well, most young pitchers are taught to get that hand way up in the glove.
Last possible second, reveal baseball. Here's Ryan Doman. Base Burrows waiting on deck. That's up the middle, perfectly positioned. Hardy. 1, 2. He could not make that flip. He just was at a really bad angle, so he took it himself and gets it done. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Hardy making an early presence in this one. Homer and a nice deep play. Go beyond the stadium. Visit Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast at numberOneBeach.com. Spring training home, of course, for the Orioles, where they had just a magnificent spring weather-wise and crowd-wise, and still beautiful weather as spring breaks continue, and Sarasota busy with a lot of college kids who have taken to that number one beach, and a lot of folks on hand for this one here today. I see you got your Easter eggs. Did you know the Easter Bunny came to the booth? Did you realize that?
Yes,
we came in this morning, and there were these bags of chocolates that were waiting for us here.
Well, we want to thank the Easter Bunny.
We do want to thank the Easter Bunny, wherever she may be. Here is Nick Johnson. Span.
Yeah, Death Valley. Yeah, the Twins hitting on Thursday. They said, "Oh, ball doesn't carry when it's cold here." That's a relative term. It was about 65 degrees. You got to hear when it's like 38. Yeah. Wait till July. Nobody ever said that in July or August.
No.
Well, second most home runs hit in the ballpark last year, other than the ballpark at
Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington, the Rangers Park. Of course, that lineup might have something to do with it too.
Doesn't hurt.
Don't you think?
Betamit playing at third base today. Mike Reynolds is out of the lineup today. Buck Showalter talked about that. He said, look, this is just part of getting everybody into the lineup. I said I was going to do this, and I will. And so Betamit gets the start at third. He wants everybody involved. And he said we went a long way to try and strengthen our bench. It wasn't just to have people coming off the bench. It was to have people versatile enough to put in and keep these lineups rolling over. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Betamit will take it inside on the off-speed breaking ball.
Well, I was talking to Ron Gardenhire, and I know that he played for Davy Johnson, except he used to have bad hamstrings because Davy wanted him on his teams. And he was saying, I played for George Bamberger when he managed the Mets. And George's theory when he was with Milwaukee was, I have a really balanced team. Like at second base, they had Gamner and Ed Romero. He said nobody's going to go more than 4 days without playing. Now, you can do it because it rests everybody. You play 162 games. A winning ball club, they would go to the World Series that year. You involve everybody. You can talk about it, but if you put them in the lineup, they have to accept the responsibility, be ready to play.
Yep. Betamit will take it up high again. Another minor shift on in the infield. They move Carroll over a bit towards second. Third baseman Burrows is moved over to short. On virtually every hitter the Orioles have put to the plate here today, whether right or left, the Twins have had some response to it and moving people around. Betamit with a 3-2, and that'll be popped up third base side. Burrows, high sky, long run, and no play.
Yeah, I actually Anthony Swarzak is 6'4". He's got a nice windup. He looks like he's got a pretty good breaking ball. He's no different than any of us wherever. Where you make a mistake to a fastball hitter like J.J. Hardy in the middle of the plate, he's going to have a good swing. But I tell you what, he started the game with Chavez. He just sawed off his bat. So it looks like he's going to do what most pitchers want to do. He's going to command his fastball and say, here, hit my best stuff. I'm going to try to stay out of the middle of the plate and take my chances.
Swarzak listed as a reliever, moved into the emergency start today towards second base. Gloved on the outfield grass. Hughes will make the play and get the out. Betamit is retired, 2 down. Festivities of opening week continue tomorrow. The Orioles host the Yankees. First game of the 3-game set on Tuesday. Don't miss the first Ollie's Bargain Night presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats. This and all Tuesday home games are once again just $9 in advance. Part of the 20th anniversary celebration at Camden Yards. Get the info at Orioles.com. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Chris Davis. Chris 0 for 3 in the opening series. And with 2 away, he'll take it for a strike. As a starter, Anthony Swarzak is making his 24th appearance as a starter in his career. Lifetime 6-12 as a starter with a 5.36 earned run average. He's also made 16 appearances as a reliever and gone 1-2 with a 3.99. He is officially a reliever to start this year, but one of those they'll draw on for both long duty and spot starts.
Yeah, and you can see again pretty good movement, good velocity. Chris Davis way late on that fastball. He may be better suited for the bullpen because he might not have that third or fourth pitch, or if he has them, they're not that effective. But he has a good breaking ball. Looks like more of a curve ball, and again, good movement on the fastball.
0-2 delivered to Davis, will be up high, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Another reason, Jim, may be that they were concerned about what they have in the bullpen, and they really, I think, wanted him in there to have a long guy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And with Scott Baker's elbow problems, they thought he was going to be back for opening day in Minnesota. That's not going to be the case.
Heater right there. He challenged him, and Davis fouls it back into the screen.
And so Chris is hitting his best stuff either straight back or over their dugout. Doesn't mean you can't throw him a breaking ball, but you don't want to throw it in the zone, or that bat head will get much quicker.
A lot of power for Davis. 1 ball, 2 strikes, outfield deep. Infield pulled around. 1-2 delivery. Buck Showalter said this morning, talking about Reynolds at third, Davis at first, he said, we believe that Chris Davis is going to be an above average first baseman defensively and does have the power. So that's why we wanted to leave him there and not move Mark Reynolds back over to first base, where Mark played very well last year. 2-2 delivery. Wow. Swarzak heard that one going by. Davis on.
Well, he got to see enough of him where he could time him. Couldn't get his breaking ball over. And Jim Presley, they've been working on the tee. Jim, the batting instructor, watch how, again, it just backspin the ball. Stay on top of it. And Anthony Swarzak has to get down through the limbo right here. So again, again, if your bottom hand actually is trying to backspin the ball, because the one thing that Chris Davis, and we saw a little bit of it last year, and maybe over the years that we've seen him, he has an uppercut swing, trying to change that a little bit.
So the Orioles pick up hit number 3, Andino. He'll take it in the air to right field on the first pitch scene. Rivera's there, and he puts it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've completed 2 in our Sunday game with the Orioles going for the sweep with the lead. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union serves the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, the Department of Defense, and their families. Federally insured by NCUA. By Hyundai. Before new Hyundai owners even stepped off the lot, we asked them to tell us about the cars they just bought. You said it, we heard it in the booth. And by Burger King, the proud sponsor of opening week baseball. Back to work, Sean Burroughs. Burroughs, the 31-year-old veteran we were talking about on opening day. It seems like he's been around forever. He's not that old, 31. Sean, of course, was out of baseball for 3 years before he decided to come back. He didn't play 2010, 9, and 8, and then wanted to pick it up again. So here he is. He was the 9th pick overall in 1998 and San Diego's first round pick that season. Burroughs at third base today. And the pitch by Hammel is outside, a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, I saw him back in 1992 and 93 when I was doing the Little League World Series on the consecutive world champions. Struck out 16 in 2 games, so he could hit, he could pitch. one of the bigger kids in Williamsport.
One of the most highly touted ball players in that draft.
Well, I faced his dad. He said, I talked to my dad. He said, you kept him in the league another 3 years. So he wanted to say hello. And
you're a good man. Always good to be helpful.
Yes.
And swung on and missed, and Hammel gets his first strikeout.
Well, what you like about this is the movement in the strike zone. So it's 94, good velocity. Watch the ball run. Starts in the middle of the plate and runs to the outside corner. You're going to see the end result right there. It looks like it's going to be right down the middle, and again, two seam, just keeps going, and Burrow's not even close to it. So again, it's sometimes about how you finish your pitches, and Jason at 6'6", doing a nice job of that.
Luke Hughes in the ball game, playing at second base today. This is a 27-year-old who spent most of his time in the minors. This is his 99th major league game. He's played over 600 minor league games, and he will take that for a strike. He played last year with Minnesota for 96 games and hit .223.
Yeah, out of Australia, and we would have had Liam Hendricks was supposed to start. Very good spring, but he had food poisoning. We would have had an Australian second baseman and then a guy chucking. I said, how did you get in baseball? He said, I played a kid, then I started playing Australian football, and then he said all of a sudden Major League Baseball, they came down with a 3-month academy over on the Gold Coast. He said, it seemed like fun. Next thing you know, I was in the minor leagues working my way to the big leagues.
Nice way to enter. I saw this year 1-2 delivery on the way foul back. I don't remember the percentage, but this year I believe is the largest percentage of non-U.S. born players in the major leagues this year. Most of them, Dominican Republic is number 1, I believe. But you're getting, we've got Taiwan, we've got Japan showing up.
Yeah,
we've
Venezuela,
got Korea,
obviously.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
Did he go? He did. The home plate umpire made the call. Tim Welke.
Well,
didn't ask for help.
That's what you talked about. Check swings. Usually it'll be the first base umpire if you're a right-handed hitter. So back-to-back strikeouts, one on a fastball. Here's the breaking ball. Luke Hughes trying to hold up. Pretty close, but not close enough.
Now well, you get that bat out over the plate at all, it's probably going to be a strike.
Well, remember when you were a kid? He broke his wrist. It's just how far the bat head travels. That's what the home plate umpire, who's usually looking to see if the pitch was a strike. But again, if you're left-handed, with Ben Rivera up, the third base umpire, that would be his, really, when you're hitting, that would be his job down at third to pay attention of how far that bat travels. And he's got the best angle.
So Hammel trying to go through this lineup, facing a minimum of 9 through the first 3 innings. If he can get Ben Rivera, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Rivera is 1 for 4 in the series. For Hammel last year, the left-handers hit .268 off him, right-handers .271. He gave up 21 home runs, pretty evenly split down the line and foul, 11 by the lefties and 10 home runs by right-handers last year. Jason working at a really good pace here, and we've seen that from all 3 of the Orioles starters.
Well, that is Rick Adair, who's the pitching coach. That's what he wants. Your direction to the plate, how good is your windup? We saw Arrieta, probably the best ever for him.
Hardy gets the big hop. And the minimum R faced. Only one batter on the first time through. That was a walk to Willingham, taken out on a double play. I like the ears. I like them. It's a proper day for them. special games this year. The O's celebrate the 6 greatest birds of all time: Frank Brooks Robinson, Earl Weaver, Jim Palmer, Eddie Murray, Cal Ripken. And when you purchase the Orioles Legends Celebration Series package, you get a ticket to each of the games when the larger-than-life bronze sculptures will be unveiled at the park. All fans in attendance will get a replica as a lasting memory. So don't miss out. 6 great games with very meaningful nights. Just go to Orioles.com/legends for information. Is it possible that they can put a sculpture up for you that's larger than life?
Talking about me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Peter Schmuck of the Baltimore Sun said, "Why is your platform bigger than anybody else's?" I said, "Oh, I really haven't noticed."
What size are your shoes?
That's what I said. Size 14s.
Ah, there you go. Andy Chavez at the top of the order.
Well, I mean, the pitcher's mound is bigger than the batter's box.
Therefore,
I have a bigger platform. I mean, look at it right there. I mean, just there it is.
This is one of the.
Well, I mean,
this is one of the secrets of baseball pitching that people listen in for.
No, well,
but if you're going to be good as a pitcher, you got to have big feet.
I always wanted. I always wanted white. Have white shoes like they had with the A's.
Pat Boone reincarnated.
Yeah.
They made by use.
I saw Pat Boone doing some infomercial the other day or something like that. Still wearing white shoes.
Yes. Oh, the trademark. The White Bucks. No question about that. The homer.
Yes. Middleitis. Really good for JJ. This is how he does it. Gets those arms extended. Got a fastball in the middle of the plate. Orioles lead 1-0. That's where it stands here. Let's see this time.
And that'll be taken up high.
And it's not that he can, talking about Anthony Swarzak or any pitcher, not that you can't throw him fastballs, you just can't have them end up in the middle of the plate or he's going to have good swings.
Swarzak over the top, and he will miss outside with it, and Hardy gets on the ahead on the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Orioles with that homer by Hardy in the first inning, couple of singles, Jones and Davis for the hits in the ball game so far. 2-0 delivery, and that will catch the outside corner.
And that's what you try to do, whether you're a young or old pitcher. Your muscle memory, when you threw him 3 straight fastballs, you missed with the first 2. The third one was perfect.
That one he got in. A towering fly ball, Willingham over. Wind blowing it as well, and he's not going to have a chance to make the play on that one. Willingham already ran into the wall once. You may have noticed there he took that circle route, as you should, so you're not going directly into the wall. Plus he was having a second look at that high sky.
Yeah, he put the glasses down. You could see him flip the glasses down in a hurry. Well, we showed you in the graphic 2 errors last night, only made 2 all of last season, and they weren't difficult plays last night. One ball he overran, and the grounder he kind of looked up to see where the runner was and just didn't catch it.
2-2 delivery on the way. Hardy to short. Jimmy Carroll. And there are 2 down. Let's take a look at our PNC Inside the Numbers. Head-to-head since the start of the 11th season, the Orioles have dominated in this series against the Twins in every category. Boy, the offensive numbers dramatically different, and the starting ERA enormously different. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. And as we mentioned, the Orioles have won 6 in a row against the Twins. Ron Gardenhire on the left, the skipper, whose team lost 99 games last year, and Buck Showalter hoping the Orioles can extend that streak here today. Here's Nick Markakis. He flied to left his first time up. Markakis 1 for 3 in the only times he has faced the right-hander of the Twins. Took something off that, and will miss inside, falls behind 2-0.
Yeah, that's the changeup, and that's the pitch that he hit for a changeup for a home run. In fact, in the same inning, Wieters and Markakis with home runs.
Here's the 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to go off the glove and by Adam Jones in the on-deck circle. That number we were looking for, international players in Major League Baseball on the rosters to start this year at 28.4%. So a lot of international flavor, and next season we'll have it'll be what's happening every 4 years with that international play that goes on with all the clubs involved. That will go on again next year, and sites yet to be determined. Here's the 3-1 delivery to Markakis inside to him, and there's the first walk surrendered. That'll bring up Adam Jones. He too is on the dinger list for the O's last night.
Yeah, this is a 0-0 ball game after 3 consecutive punch outs. Liriano, of the first 3 Oriole hitters, he just missiles one into right center field. Of all the Oriole players that we have seen, he's got the most and the most prodigious opposite field power.
Adam with 2 down and a runner on at first base, and a timeout taken with the paper blowing right in front of the mound there. Swarzak will do a little duty. Last season for Jones, he hit 282 at home, 279 on the road. Real good numbers both ways. The home runs, though, were here. 19 home runs. 19 of the 25 that he hit came here at Camden Yards. Single his first time up in the ball game. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Orioles up 1-0.
Good breaking ball. You know, one of the highlights, you usually MC the baseball assistants team's dinner, but Adam Jones gets the Frank Slocum Award for outstanding. And the speech, he was great. He really gave a nice speech. He did perspire a lot, and I said, boy, if I thought in spring training, I said, boy, you were really lathered up out there. He said it was hot up there and I had to talk, but he really gave a nice speech. What a great award. It's such a helpful organization.
Fouled off. That's for work done in the community, be it here in Baltimore where he's involved, or also back home, and assistance rendered to the community, charitable time and monies. And Adam is very much involved in that, even as a young player, and he's now a member of our board, and he asked to be. Adam Jones has become an official board member of the BAT baseball assistance team. Was at our meeting in January, will be at the All-Star game meeting, and is actively involved now in helping us find other active players who might want to serve on the BAT board. 2 strikeout with 2 down. And I want to apologize. We had Tim Welke behind the plate. It's his brother Bill. Bill's actually working the plate today, and that right shoulder almost went up on that one.
Well, another breaking ball, and just outside, apparently, to Bill. Tim would have called it a strike.
Tim would have called it a strike, but Bill didn't.
Bill said nope.
Here's the 1-2 delivery.
Little Bob Uecker just off the outside.
A little bit outside.
Looked like a pretty good pitch to me. If I was pitching, boy, you want that pitch. Because you know why? Because you're out of there.
Yep.
I get to go down and sit down and let my hitters come up.
Uke's going to get a statue done outside of the ballpark in Milwaukee this year, I saw.
Oh, really? What a great guy.
Him. Yep.
Yeah, boy, he's been there forever, it seems like.
That will be a good speech. Here's the 2-2, and it is swung on and foul tipped into the mid. So Swarzak gets his first strikeout. The Orioles leave a man on, 3 complete. Orioles have a 1-0 lead. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T 4G LTE with speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G. AT&T, rethink possible. By Hyundai. Before new Hyundai owners even stepped off the lot, we asked them to tell us about the cars they just bought. You said it, we heard it in the booth. And by Acura. Acura Advance. On this gorgeous Easter Sunday here at Camden Yards, the Orioles on the hearty home run in the first inning of the 1-0 lead. Jason Hammel has faced the minimum through the first time through the order, giving up only a walk, and that was eliminated on a double play. So back to the top, Denard Span. First pitch strikes, 5 out of 10 for Hammel so far today, and that is in there for a strike. Span grounded out to first.
Yeah, second time through the order, so he'll just keep doing what he's doing. He's made a lot of quality pitches, and of course they're going to try to get pitches in the middle of the plate they can do something with.
The 1-1 to third. Nice play by Betamete. He was in on the grass too. One away in the fourth inning. Everybody needs a little pie at Easter, so here's what we're going to serve.
Well, there it is, and that's pretty good makeup. I think a lot of times and probably this year he'll throw, maybe that fastball percentage will go up maybe 64-65%. Already we saw Jake Arrieta. He threw 97 pitches. He threw 61 fastballs. So he pitched very well. So that's one of the things, fastball command, especially when you have a good one.
Here's Jamie Carroll, grounded out his first time up, looking for his first hit of the new season. He's got an 0 for 8 going right now against Hammel, against whom he's 6 for 13.
Well, he comes over from the Dodgers where he hit 290. So they got him because of his ability to play, ability in the locker room at 38. But he is a line drive hitter, trying to get on for the big guys, and the big guys waiting on deck.
See him step out there. That's something we may see them do more of here today, and other teams do more of it, because we were talking about the pace being set by the Orioles starters. Hammel's getting the ball back, and for the most part going right back onto the slab, and Carroll saw that and stepped out of the batter's box just to slow him down.
Oh, he'll just do exactly what he's doing. Just get balanced, get ready to go, put the sign down
and get him.
Yeah, and then really good breaking ball with 2 strikes.
And Wieters makes the play, 2 down.
See, part of the deal when you get an 0-2 breaking ball or 2-strike breaking ball, you don't want to be afraid to bounce it. You want to throw it under the zone. And with Matt Wieters, who won his first Gold Glove, you don't have to worry about them. Watch him. He's going, I'm not letting this ball, and that ball bounces way out in front of home plate. So he just kind of softens his way up, knocks it down, plays in front of him, gets the angle, and you get the strikeout and out number 2.
3 strikeouts in the ball game and 1 walk so far for Hammel. Here's Mauer, flied out to left field his first time up. Mauer with a lot of games under his belt against the Orioles, a .311 hitter here at Camden Yards, with a couple of home runs in the games he's played against the O's in this ballpark. 1-0 delivery. Mauer will take it away, and a 2-0 count.
Yeah, he came into last night's game hitting .343 against the Orioles, up there with Cano numbers and Ichiro numbers and some of the better hitters. Of course, he has won 3 batting titles. So
yes. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that will be a strike taken. Mauer working at first base in the ball game today, as they try and rest him, as they'll do all season as far as the plate's concerned, with Domit working behind it today. 2-ball 1-strike delivery to Mauer, and that's a ground to the second base, and Dino's got it. And Jason Hammel just rolling along here, getting the outs as needed so far, facing the minimum number of hitters through 4 innings. A fact, Cal Ripken Jr. recorded his 3,000th career hit against the Twins. Came on April 15 of 2000, a single of Hector Carrasco playing in Minnesota. The Orioles have the 1-0 lead, and it's the home run by Hardy in the first inning that got it for him. Swarzak has walked one, struck out one. Jason Hammel's walked one and struck out three and given up nothing. Wieters, Johnson, and Betamit in the fourth inning. Very comfortable day, 65 degrees when we started.
Yeah, about the only thing you have to not worry about, but maybe a little bit different in spring training, is the lack of humidity. Makes the ball a little bit slicker.
And it is a strike. And it is only about 21% the humidity, so very, very low today. Rozak's pitched himself a good game. He made a mistake to Hardy, and Hardy drove it. And Jason Hammel's been that much better. Another ground ball. Hughes. One down. Masson's 30 prizes in 30 days contest is going on now through May 5. Log on to Facebook.com/Masson Orioles and enter for your chance to win exclusive Orioles gear presented by your local Jeep and Dodge dealers. Real good Sunday crowd on hand. That lowering of that right field fence has allowed folks to stand out there and really be able to see the game. Even the youngsters who are out there can, as they took 4 feet off the fence that was out above the fence, above the scoreboard right there.
Yeah, people commenting now that maybe it seems like there's a little bit of a wind tunnel blowing to right field, and I wonder, I mean, you never know with aerodynamically whether 4 or 5 feet might change the way the wind, because it swirls so much here at Camden Yards. Either that or just the weather's a little bit warmer than it normally is this time of year.
It certainly is that, a little bit anyway. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. It's going to make some calls interesting. Probably. Did he go around? No. There's about a 3-foot span of tin that runs from the scoreboard back to where the fence is. It was put in as tin intentionally in order to help the umpires on calls when balls come down and hit over the scoreboard and on the back side of it.
So where is a home run? I mean, where's
it's the top of the scoreboard.
Towering
pop-up. Somebody helping the infield. Everybody's looking around. And a nice play made by Maurer.
Well, a little different spin if you're a first baseman versus a catcher. And catchers will always tell you the ball usually spins back. That's why you'll see them kind of turn their back and the ball's going to come back to you.
Maurer hasn't played that much. There you see that right underneath where they're standing. You see that line of green. That's tin. That's a home run if the ball hits above the scoreboard. If it hits the top of the scoreboard, that's it. Whether it bounds back onto the playing field or not, it's a home run. And it would be a difficult call for the umpires because you just can't, you don't have any angle on that, so they hope that it will help. They can hear it. Popped up down the third base side by Betamit. This is going to be tough. Oh, yeah. What a nice play by Burrows. Sliding with it, coming over his shoulder. A couple of very fine defensive plays for the Twins here in the fourth inning. That's a good one. Orioles lead at 1-0. through Friday, 5 interviews, batting practice, look-ins, and more. It's weeknights at 5 on Masson. Real good ball game on this Sunday. The Orioles are trying to pull a sweep off here in the first series. The starters for the Orioles, you can see, starting pitching, 18 innings pitched and no earned runs. And that one will be taken, and Justin Morneau gets ahead on the count, 2-0.
Yeah,
Arrieta kicked it off on Friday.
Yeah, he was overpowering, the best I've ever seen him. And you look at the stuff and the windup. Of course, pitched a lot of games where you go into the fifth with a 1-0 lead, and it's not much of a cushion.
A lot of baseball left, and that's the first 3-0 count, I think, that Jason Hammel has had in the ball game today. So Morneau, Willingham, and Domet do up. Tries to aim that one in, doesn't get it there. So the second base runner, both of them via the walks. Willingham had the other one. Junior Orioles Dugout Club, Birdland's best family value. Kids 14 and under get tickets to 10 games. Exclusive hat, membership card, backpack, and more. It's only $20. Family members can then get tickets for as low as $6 with a chance to upgrade. Find out more. Visit Orioles.com/dugout club.
And you could see him shaking his head. Obviously didn't want to do what he did, but the good pitchers, they go, okay, now I just have to go back and make a good pitch.
Now Willingham, who's been tough against him in the inside corner. Willingham picked up the walk in the second inning and then was taken out on a double play. Willingham 4 for 10, a home run, lifetime off Hammel.
Well, he's a home run strikeout guy. I mean, you want to strike him out. You'd love to have him hit a ground ball, one of your infielders. He did hit 29 home runs, struck out 150 times last year.
That's going to be taken down low. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Willingham with a couple of strikeouts in this series, no walks.
And also that home run on opening day, hanging changeup from Troy Patton.
2 RBIs. Short lead at first base, Morneau being held by Davis. The 1-1 delivery to him, and a chopper back to the mound. Help thy cause. Hammel 1, relay Andino. Wow.
Perfectly done. We saw Jake Arrieta turn a double play, hurried it in the opening day, threw him a sinker over to Hardy. This time watch him gather himself right there, catch it, knows who's covering. That's Andino. What a nice pitch. Fastball to a fastball hitter. The difference, how do you get him out? Movement inside the zone, something he's had all day.
So both walks have been eliminated on the base pass via the double play. 2 down, nobody on, 5th inning. Here's Domet. He hit into that double play in the second inning, and the slider's going to miss inside for a ball. Real good pitching duel here. Swarzak and Jason Hammel.
And this guy's got some serious power.
Domet, a chopper that came off the plate, handled by Jason Hammel, and he's got it. And through 5 innings, the Orioles starter has faced the minimum number of twins, protecting the 1-0 lead.
Showalter, the Orioles skipper, say it's not brain surgery. Give us a chance to win, and they're doing that But we do know 1-0 doesn't mean a whole lot. But what it does mean, I mean, you know, this is a grind out type of game. We've seen the Orioles. They don't play well on Sundays. They were 10-17 last year. They were 20-28 in day games. So it's not been a favorite. Now, I don't know if that means you're just not a good team, because they did lose to 93 games last year. But at the end of the day, these are the games you need to win. You know the Twins want to win. They got a real tough schedule when they go home. But again, you got to do the little things, and so far they've done them all. They got the key hit, the home run by Hardy, and Jason Hammel have been really good.
Now already the talk has begun about the Oriole pitchers in the competition. Buck Showalter talked about it in spring training as far as making the rotation. Now it's about the rotation challenging each other in friendly competition each day.
I played on some great staffs, and you know, it's not that you want the other guy to fail. You want to do a little bit better. And again, I think the comfort zone for me, and it's going to be for this Oriole staff if they pitch well, is that if you don't pitch well, and it's going to happen, somebody's going to pick you up. And we've seen 3 outstanding starting performances.
Jason Hammel putting on one today, not to take anything away from Swarzak. Anthony Swarzak on the mound has done a heck of a job for his ball club as well. So it'll be Davis leading it off. Davis, Andino, top of the order. Andy Chavez are due up against the 26-year-old right-hander. First ball hitting again down that third base side. A lot of balls have been hit over there, and that's going to end up in the seat. Davis had a single, his first time up for his first hit of the new year.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of good running fastballs from Anthony Swarzak that the lefties haven't been able to get to. Now, he did it to Chris Davis, and then Chris would make a nice adjustment and hit one right back at his forehead into center field for a base hit.
Outfield fairly deep. Center fielder Spans moved a couple of steps over towards left. Infield plays him to pull. And he does off the fist that time. Ben Rivera coming on will make the catch. One away. The PNC postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, the analysis in the ball game. Jim Hunter, Rick Dempsey will have it for you. A look in at the press conference with Buck Showalter, and player interviews and more, all coming up on our postgame show. Andino flied out to right field. His first at bat. Showed bunt. That will get Burrows charging in.
No, that's part of the game plan. Buck Showalter, he realizes Robert Andino can do a lot of things. Great defensive player, shortstop, second base, can steal some bases. Probably going to give him the go sign a little bit more than last year if he gets on. But part of it is bring the infield in.
Yeah.
You know, especially early in the count, and then hit it by him. At the end of the day, he's still a line drive hitter. You know, occasional power.
And so long as he recognizes that, he will be fine.
Well, that's a very cogent point. I mean, because how many guys have we've seen the little man disease where you think, you know, yeah, well, no offense there. But, you know, you're trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark and you're not a home run hitter.
Yep. And that one will be taken down low. The other thing is his sense of that strike zone, willingness to wait in spring training, and now seems to be a lot better. I mean, those are last 2 pitches are pitches that he might have gone after previous years. 3-0 he's going to take. It's in their first strike.
We also saw him swing at the first pitch of the game and hit a nice little easy fly ball. Pitcher's delight. You hit his pitch early in the count. If you want to try to stay away from it.
Here's the 3-1 delivery to Andino, and he draws the walk. So Swarzak surrenders a 1-out walk here in the 5th inning. Only the second free pass he's given up.
And now all of a sudden, again with 1 out, you look at, if you're Buck Showalter, you look at the scoreboard. You got 1 run. That's because Hardy was able to homer. And you're thinking, how can I get a guy to second base? I have a guy that can run it first. Now, he may not run right away because you might want to keep the hole open and let Chavez hit it into right field. But it's hard here at Camden Yards to actually get to first to third because it's such a small ballpark.
0 for 2 in the ball game.
That's a huge lead.
And the pitch will be taken up high. Andino just testing it by the looks to see whether or not Swarzak is even going to look over.
And you saw a slide step, and you can slide step, and that's where you take that front foot and you just slide it. The leg kick that gets a little bit lower. But a lot of times when you do that, you lose stuff and you lose command. location on the plate.
Burroughs is in at third base on the grass. There's a pitch out. They certainly thought he was going to go. Against Swarzak last year, base stealers went 3 for 6.
Well,
Ryan Doom, the catcher, threw out 24% of base stealers,
which is not a horrible number.
Kind of middle
the league
road.
averages what, about 28, 29%, somewhere in there.
Yep.
But for a big guy, and Anthony Swarzak is 6'4", he gets the ball to the catcher pretty quickly.
Burroughs still on the grass. Runner goes, hit and run, slap. That's equal a bunt. Swarzak up, nowhere to go. It's a hit. Well, the hit and run was on. Andy Chavez will get a single, and Andino goes down to second.
Well, there's your first hit as an Oriole. That's the old swing and bunt. And there's Andino, as you mentioned, Gary. He takes off. Anthony Swarzak, just put it in your pocket.
So big chance for the Orioles with only one away in the middle of the order coming up. And the Chavez in the leadoff spot on at first base. It's good speed on the base pass.
You can see how soft it is right in front of home plate down in Texas, where Indy played last year. That ball would have carried into left field.
Yep.
Very firm infield down there.
J.J. Hardy, the home run, his first of the year in the first inning. 2 on, 1 out. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
That ball was probably a couple of inches outside, and J.J. Hardy doesn't even look back.
Hardy checking with DeMarlo Hale, third base coach for the Orioles. Orioles are 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position through the first 2 games. 0-2. They hold the runner close at second base. That's going to go towards third. Burroughs dives. He's got it. There's 1. That's all they'll get, but that saves a run or 2. And a fine defensive play.
Yeah, terrific play. Can't turn 2, but you do save the run. Looked like it was going to sneak into left field. Swarzak did exactly what he wanted. He made a very, very good pitch with his breaking ball. And J.J. almost got it into left field.
So first and third with 2 down for Nick Markakis. Burroughs has had a real fine game at third base today. He made a great catch on a pop-up earlier against Betamit, and makes a play. We'll see how big it looms in this game. Right there. And just changes everything, getting the out, at least potentially, depending on what Markakis does. Markakis has walked and flied out to left field. And the pitch will miss for a ball. We'll get our first warm-up action of the day. Matt Maloney, the left-hander, in the bullpen. Swarzak making the emergency start in this ball game today. And that is a strike.
Well, let's see how they're trying to pitch him this year. And again, it's over 2 games. A lot of changeups, a lot of sliders, not very many fastballs, even though the sinker and the fastball are the same. So about 50-50. It's a little unusual. But again, Pavano only throwing 86. That was about his high. Nick hit him for a 2-run home run.
That one he got jammed on, popped it up. Second baseman coming over. Hughes reaching, can't get it.
Yeah, Maurer never saw it, and Hughes tries to bail him out. And you could see right there, that's where you usually try to pitch Nick Markakis, get in on his hands, and he was able to do it, but the ball gets out of play.
Maurer was looking up to that high sky going, where is it, where is it? And never did find it.
Well, it's not only the grounders when you play first, it's where you are on cutoffs. I mean, we're talking about a Gold Glove catcher now playing first base to keep his bat in the lineup.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Markakis. Nick hit .268 last year with runners in scoring position. It's an opportunity here. Swarzak's 1-2 pitch to him. Again, got in. Ball will go to right. Revere's there, playing the sun, and will put it away. So the Orioles unable to convert, and that play by Burroughs, a big one here in the 5th inning. No runs as they pick up the 1 hit. Orioles lead at 1-0.
Yeah, Jason Hammel, Anthony Swarzak, only the one mistake, the Hardy home run. Hammel's been terrific. There are the pitch counts. You know, good moving fastball, good breaking ball on occasion. He's used all his pitches. The fastball's been very effective.
Here's Burroughs, who may have made the play of the game in that last inning, denying Chavez a base hit and an RBI. And we'll get down to first base. A multi-hopper played by Davis.
Yeah, that was a tough play. I mean, he chooses to come in, play the short hop. But again, another pitch, a little bit out of the zone that Sean Burroughs chases.
For Hammel last year, 57% ground ball pitcher. So that's enough to get you into that ground ball pitcher category.
Yeah, it really is. And 247 ground balls last year. 194 in the air.
Luke Hughes takes a strike on the inside corner. Hughes a strikeout victim.
A little bit of pop. You know, the type of guy that, again, I mean, if you stay down, you stay away, it's going to keep him in the ballpark. But
down to third. Bettamy. Two down.
What a pleasure to play behind Hammel today.
Our PNC Minor League report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Buck Britton, you see the numbers put up early with the 4 for 12, a home run, a .583 slugging percentage, playing at Bowie, AA ball, Zach's brother, and if you ask Buck, the better hitter of the two.
Even though Zach can hit.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, home runs. In fact, 2 hits in his game down in Atlanta last year. In fact, got a little bit tired, squandered the lead. But I saw Brandon Beachy was a pitcher. He said, "What kind of hitter is Britton?" I said, "Well, in batting practice, he's terrific. Took him deep the next day."
Dan Rivera swinging through it.
Now we hope he's doing well. Zach Britton,
yes.
The shoulder inflammation and trying to work his way back into pitching form.
Put a little more pressure on the or competition into the Orioles staff. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Grounded out his first time up, right back to the mound. Boy, oh boy, Jason Hammel. He has faced the minimum number of Twins hitters through the first 6 innings of this ball game. Hardy's home run still the only one of them. With the Oriole Park 5-bagger suite package, 1 low price, 5 games, a great suite for you, and including 2 against the Yankees, Red Sox, and Phillies, plus parking, VIP treatment, and more. 5-game plan, you get 6 club-level tickets to the nearly sold-out Saturday, June 9 Interleague game showdown that'll be against the Phillies. Dates are going fast, so don't miss out. Visit Orioles.com/suites. Crowd enjoying a real great ball game here on this Sunday, and the starter's gone, and here's the lefty.
Yes, Swarzak pitches extremely well. Only the solo home run to Hardy. Maloney comes in last year with Cincinnati and Louisville, where he was terrific. Starting pitcher in the minor leagues. You can see the numbers, obviously twice as many hits as innings pitched. Had a great spring, as after he was picked up on waivers. Only gave up 2 earned runs in 15 in the 3rd inning, so they just hope that it continues now that the season has started, or the bell has rung, as they say.
28-year-old has got Jones, Wieters, and Johnson coming up out of Sandusky, Ohio. 7-4 combined last year with the Reds and AAA Louisville. Jones will take it away for a ball. In his career at the major league level, Maloney's 2-1. 11 career relief appearances and 11 as a career starter. He's 2-8. 1-0 delivery, and the pitch is in there. Adam Jones wants to get these numbers up against the left-hander. He hit only .242 against lefties last year. .295 off righties. Jones is singled and struck out. 1-1 delivery to him. 1-2.
Yeah, you look at Mike Maloney's numbers in the minor leagues, and he was 62 and 41, really low earned run average, 3.3 runs per game. So again, if you're the Twins, you're looking for pitching. They were 13th out of 14 teams. You look for a starter that may be a good matchup guy in your bullpen. And you'll see already he'll throw a changeup at any count.
Jones had to reach for it, fouls it away, protecting, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Now maybe a guy that's not overpowering. We've seen 88, but a changeup and a little bit of a breaking ball can be very effective if used properly.
Ball game still up for grabs, very much so here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1-4-0 for the Orioles. Nothing across for the Twins. Outfield shaded to right on Adam Jones. That'll be bounced in the dirt by the left-hander, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And right there, Jason Hammel. Couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. That's it. Here's the 2-2 delivery. And he'll take it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And you would think when you look at succession of pitching, this is going to be a changeup down and away after he almost hit him in the kneecap. Part of pitching. Make him dance, move his feet, and then execute your pitch low and away.
Here's the 3-2 delivery. Domet set up there, didn't get it there, and it's a base hit. So Adam Jones is on with his 2nd hit of the day, a leadoff single.
Well, that's what they tried to do. They go in at his kneecaps. They throw him a change up away, but he doesn't get it away. And again, it's away enough, but Adam, again, pretty strong young hitter. Strong enough to get it by the 3rd baseman Burrows. You can see Carroll can't come up with it. You need some more runs. Why not now?
Bullpen was a big problem, one of many that the Twins had last year. The highest ERA, the most hits per 9 innings surrendered in the American League. And a strike to Matt Wieters. Matt has flied out, grounded out in the series now. He's 1 for 7, a home run and 2 RBIs. Matt had .339 for a batting average against the lefties last year. 98 points higher than he had against right-handers. Good pitch, though, down and into him there. And the count goes to 2 strikes on Wieters. Runner at first. Nobody out. Getting people on base for both these teams has been a problem today. The Orioles have the leadoff man on for the first time in the ball game with a single by Jones. Two-strike count. Pretty good lead for Jones. Not going. Got him.
The invisible ball. A little extra. Up to 90. Wieters hitting .339 against left-handers last year. Pretty good pitch. Nice movement up and away.
Well, there's one big out for him. Nick Johnson gets the DH role today. He has flied out and popped out, has an 0 for 6 in the series.
Oh, way inside.
And there are 2 on. That hurt.
You know he's not trying to do this lefty-lefty matchup. Just it's a backup slider or just a fastball that gets away, but it nicks him in the shoulder. Nicks Nick, as a matter of fact.
Now Buttermeat. Here's a real opportunity. The Orioles, after the home run by Hardy in the 1st inning, their best chance came in the 5th when they were able to get 2 on and only 1 down. There go the runners. Inside throw, Domit, not in time. Double steal.
Well, you know, you could talk about it all the time, and Buck Showalter said, I want to be unpredictable as a manager. I want to have situations where I can push the envelope, and this is one of them. And again, this doesn't happen by accident. This is spring training. Not paying attention by the Twins. You take advantage of it. Good throw, but too late. Adam Jones says, I want to be a complete player. Well, there you go.
Infield has to be moved in with only one away. That'll be fouled away by Bellamy, who has popped out and grounded out. One of Burrow's one of two good plays today. Burrow's caught the pop-up in the fourth inning against Bellamy.
And what it forces a young pitcher, as far as at least major league experience, to try to go for a strikeout. Either that or a grounder.
Infield in, 1-1 delivery on the way. Bellamy in the air to right field. He got all of that one. It'll curve. Span going back, and it's off the wall. 2 runs will score. It's a double, and the Orioles have a 3-0 lead.
Wilson Bellamy can hit. Switch hitter, high on base percentage. That's one of the reasons they got him. He can play the infield, play all over the place. And right here, they try to go in. They don't get in, and he belts it to right center field.
First RBIs for Bellamy for the Orioles. His second hit. And he's on at second base now for Chris Davis.
And Gary, what sets that up is obviously the double steal, because it makes it easier to hit. He's not trying to hit a double. He's trying to get a ball in the air, and when he does, he gets the bonus, the double.
Well, the Orioles take advantage of the opportunity against the reliever. Matt Maloney has already thrown 15 pitches here in the inning. Liking that is Jason Hammel, as he gets a little breathing room in the ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Davis will take the pitch away. Domit makes the stop, holds the runner at second base. Davis hit .350 off left-handers. Now, he had only 40 at bats against him, 14 for 40 with a home run. Nevertheless, it's a pretty solid number. They play him around to left a bit. Span, the center fielder, moves over, give him the big gap in right center field. He loops it the other way. Willingham, runner will go halfway. Willingham's got it. 2 down. Twins will get a right-hander going. Jeff Gray, who has been in this series, is up again. Robert Andino.
And we know, if you've watched Andino play, much better hitter against lefties than righties by about almost 60 points last year. Well, it looks like he might get a chance to hit off the lefty.
And the delivery to him, little screwball effect, stays on the outside part of the plate. Andino 306 lefties, 243 right-handers. Runner at second base for him. He's walked and flied out in the ball game. Bellamy being held close by Hughes, the second baseman. 3-0 Orioles. Fastball up high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen, at least what I noticed last year, he really struggled when we talk about Robert Andino against righties, but all of a sudden it looked like he was a little bit more patient. In other words, he'd see more pitches, see what the spin is, the velocity.
That one down the line in right field. Rivera with a long run over, and will make the play, but the Orioles get the big hit. Bellamy coming up with only 1 away and a couple on in scoring position delivered. It is a 3-0 Orioles lead. 9-year-old right-hander has been all but perfect. 2 walks in the ball game, both of them taken out by double plays, one in the second, one in the fifth, so he's faced the minimum number of hitters through 6 innings and has a 3-0 lead as we go again to the top of the order here in the 7th with Span, Carroll, and Mauer due up. Span has grounded out twice.
Yeah, the last time sharply to third, and he'll bring in Wilson Betemit at third, bring him in. And of course, his game, he hits the ball to left field and really well. Try to hit it by him if he can. They're still looking for base runners. And they're looking for hits. They're looking for runs. And here's your leadoff guy. Every time today, he's led off.
Second base, Sandino's got it. 1 down, 7th inning. Show off your Birdland pride. Support the many programs aided by Orioles Reach by ordering the new official Orioles Maryland license plate. The new cartoon bird is on the plate. Great way to show your support for the team and the community as proceeds go to the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Just go to Orioles.com/plates. 1 away. 67 pitches have been thrown by Jason Hammel in the ballgame. Carroll 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. And we'll take it up high for a ball. 1-0 count on Carroll, who is now 6 for 14 lifetime off Jason Hammel. Has not had a hit in the series, 0 for 9. And the outside corner strike.
Well, he's been able to maintain his velocity. Started at 94, still at 93, and pitch count has a lot to do with that.
43 strikes, 24 balls thrown so far. 1-1 delivery to get him to chase on that one. 1-2.
Well, he's been able to turn the ball over. That's you do it with 2 seams, holding it with the seams, and that ball just took off, exploded. Look at Adair looking on. He's going, this is not a bad debut so far.
No kidding. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and we'll miss on that. Count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Orioles going after the sweep. They swept a series in Minnesota last year. It was a 4-game sweep. Here's the 2-2 pitch, a ground ball towards short. Hardy was moving that way. And the crowd starting to get into it.
Well, yeah, why not? You haven't given up a hit through 6 2/3. The pitch count is well in order. I mean, I can tell you, I've been at this point in the game, you're still thinking 1 batter at a time, which is the way you should pitch anyway, and try to maintain the lead. That 1-0 lead, because of the 2 runs, went to 3, so it's a little bit more comfortable, but your focus doesn't change.
Hamill's low hit game in his career, complete game wise, a 5-hitter that he threw against Los Angeles. That was back in 09. 1-0 count, Joe Mauer. Mauer has flied out and grounded out. Here's the 1-0 delivery outside. This is the part of the ball game where if we could get inside the minds of the defensive players of the Orioles right now, you'd know who the ones are who want the ball. Because right now, you know what's going on. Hit it to me. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and the fastball's up high, 3-0. He has had only 3 3-0 counts in the ball game. He has walked 2. Morneau and Willingham. Hammel with the 3-0, and he'll get that one in there for a strike.
Man, what a difference those extra 2 runs make. Mauer, only hit 3 home runs last year, only played in 82 games, but again, he said he's ready to hit because he is hitting the inside pitch, but if it's 1-0, this is a totally different game.
3-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be a slow roller down to first base. Davis has got it. Wow. It's 7th inning stretch time. Pitching a no-hitter as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Our 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. those zeros right now that are attracting a lot of interest here. You couldn't be much more efficient and effective than Hammel's been in this game.
Well, he's been outstanding, and and again, I mentioned early in the telecast I had seen him throw, and I was I thought it was remarkable. A guy that tall, 6'6", can repeat his windup. I never knew he had this kind of stuff. Saw him pitch when he was playing for Tampa Bay, and I'm going, well, he doesn't really command his stuff today. It's been really good. Great late movement with his fastball. A lot of strikes. I mean, he's used all his pitches. Curveball's probably been the best secondary pitch, but again, a lot of ground balls and a pleasure to play behind.
And Betemeet with a very big hit, taking a little bit of pressure off everybody on the Orioles to extend that lead with Hardy's first inning home run. That was it until the 6th inning. That makes it a little easier for the pitcher, I would think.
I think it also makes it a little bit easier for the pitching coach and Buck Showalter, the manager of the Orioles, because now all of a sudden, because he's been so efficient, they can say, okay, we want to win, but we don't want to hurt his arm. We don't want to have him exceed what he threw in spring training, but he's already thrown this amount of pitches, so that's how efficient he's been.
So the Orioles up as they go after this 3-game sweep. Jason Hammel's on the bench, hoping the Orioles can add to the lead they've got as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Orioles will be back at the top of the order. Andy Chavez, Hardy, and Markakis will be due up. Left-hander out of the bullpen, Matt Maloney, charged with the couple of runs on 2 hits in his first inning worked in the 6th. Chavez to second base. Hughes right at him on the big hop. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 7th. Chavez with a 1-for-4 game. J.J. Hardy kicked it off for the Orioles in the first inning against Swarzak. Anthony Swarzak, the starter. About the only mistake he made was that pitch to Hardy that ended up in the left field seats.
Yeah, very impressive performance. Liam Hendricks, the Australian right-hander, was supposed to get his first start. Didn't make it because of food poisoning. Really, I mean, when you pitch 5 innings, 1 mistake, you step in, you just pitch good fastball. Real good curveball.
1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout for the Minnesota starter today. A 2-0 count on Hardy. Hardy now with a couple of hits in 9 at-bats in the series against the Twins. Orioles 3 runs on 6 hits in the game. Hardy to short. Backhanded. Can he get it over there? Carroll. Really nice play.
Well, they play him to pull. Otherwise, you don't make this play. 2-0. I'm sure Jamie Carroll saying, well, I'm going to probably be leaning to my right, which is right here in the hole. And again, everybody says, well, I don't know if he can play shortstop. That's where he played last year for the Dodgers. How about his arm strength? Well, you're going to see it right here. Gets to it very quickly, ball hit sharply, and then guns him out.
Twins have made some nice defensive plays in the ball game. Their defense had let them down in the first 2 games of the series. Burrows has been good. Carroll's made some nice plays.
Well, in fact, the play that Burrows made in the hole was off of J.J. Hardy, and now Carroll, another one. So 3 for 3.
2 down, nobody on, and here's Nick Markakis.
Actually 3 for 4.
3 for 4.
Yeah.
Markakis 0 for 2 and a walk in the game. He'd like to give Jason Hammel a little more time on the bench here. A couple of quick outs in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Of course, there's nothing when you're on the kind of roll that Jason is. Maybe nothing like getting right back out there.
Stay right out there.
Well, it's interesting. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying, a lot of times it's not always pitch count. It's how long the game goes, because young pitchers, not that Jason's young at 29, just turned 30. Young pitchers, they lose focus over if the game is a 2-hour and 45-minute game. I find that hard to believe, but that's one of the theories that's floating out there.
So that will be a walk surrendered. And time to cast your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. J.J. Hardy, who's delivered the home run in this one. Jason Hammel working on a Zippo. Wilson Betemeet with a big 2 RBI double. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. And we're going to get a pitching change, it looks like, as Ron Gardenhire has made his way out to the mound. And Gray, who we have seen in the series, Jeff Gray, will come on to do the pitching. 7th inning, 2 down and 1 on. What he's doing with zeros on the board, you find yourself alone on the bench. Nobody says a word. Here's Jeff Gray out of the bullpen for the Twins.
Yeah, we've seen him on with the Chicago White Sox. Saw him opening day. Again, throws low 90s. Opportunity again. The Twins, as Gary Thorne told you, maybe the 14th out of 14 teams in the American League with the bullpen last year. So
not good.
No. But a lot of opportunities. And this is one of them.
30-year-old right-hander out of Texas City, Texas, against the Orioles in that appearance. A walk, 1 hit, third of an inning. Now Gray on in relief of Matt Maloney, who worked an inning and 2/3, couple of hits, walk, and a strikeout. So far 2 runs charged to him. And taken by Adam Jones. Jones has had 2 singles, 2 for 3, a run scored. Orioles lead at 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runner at first base, Nick Markakis. After a couple of quick outs, Markakis able to draw the walk. Here's the 1-0 delivery to him. Jones to second base. Hughes perfectly positioned to handle the line drive. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the 8th inning. Morneau, Willingham, and Domet against Jason Hammel. Congratulations. Started with $500, 3 strikeouts. You get $100 per strikeout, up to $800 in our Maryland Lottery contest. The Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich scratch-offs. You can enter to win with your non-winning ticket codes at marylandlottery.com/strikeitrich. Jason Hammel's ready to go. Dry in the air to right field. Morneau back near the wall. And that's going to be the first hit of the game for the Twins. Morneau will go in with a double, leading off the 8th inning, ending the no-hitter for Jason Hammel.
And Matt Wieters comes out and does exactly what he's supposed to. And you could kind of see, just think about the fact that he pitches not only into the 8th inning, but does it with the aplomb that he does. So you just don't get a chance to get that late in the ball game with a no-hitter. And you're thinking that, now all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, how do I get Willingham out and how do I win this ball game? And of course, with that, the bullpen's going to scurry around and guys are going to get up and throw because that's what you want to do.
Here's Willingham, and he goes around on the check swing. He is grounded out into a double play and drawn a walk.
Yeah, it just looks like a sinker down and in, misses the target. And again, you don't know too many left-handers that aren't good low ball hitters, and Morneau one of them.
So Morneau on at second base in this 3-0 ball game with the Orioles on top. And slider right there is good for strike 2.
Yeah, probably the 2 best he's thrown. The first one was about as good as you could throw it to Josh Willingham.
0-2 count. Morneau given the good lead at second base. Orioles play the hitter here, and that'll be fouled off.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row. Pitch count at 81.
Morneau ending the no-hitter, leading off the 8th inning. No chance for Markakis. That went off the scoreboard wall in right field. Here's the 0-2. That one ripped in the air to left field. Chavez over. He's not going to get that one. Morneau's going to come around to score. Willingham will go into second base, and how quickly it changes. The Twins make it a 3-1 game and get the potential tying run to the plate.
Just tries to run in a fastball, and again, Willingham, Josh, is a great fastball hitter. You can see the inside-out stroke. Bat stays inside the ball, able to hook it right down the line. Andy Chavez was going to try to get to it, cut it off. He keep the double play in order, unable to do it. Here comes Rick Adair, the Orioles pitching coach.
Kevin Gregg is in the bullpen, getting ready to go. Important now, it is really about the ball game as the Twins get on the board here in the 8th inning. Hammel was trying to become part of baseball history with a no-hitter here on this Easter Sunday. On this date in baseball history, April 8th was the date Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run, 1974, breaking Babe Ruth's record of 714. Carlos Baeger in this date became the first player to homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning. And Frank Robinson made his debut on this date as the Indians player manager. All of those on April the 8th. Here's Ryan Doumit. Doumit grounded out a couple of times, once a double play in the second, and again on a ground ball out in the 5th. And Doumit's cut will foul it off. So Hammel trying to work his way through this bottom top half of the 8th inning. Probably one runner on away from coming out of the ball game. Doumit's had an 0 for 6 in the series. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Misses outside, goes to 2-1.
Yeah, that's the changeup. It hasn't been one of his real effectives. He's used it, just haven't been able to command it. But the sinker's been that good at running to seam fastball.
Burrows waiting on deck. Hardy holds the runner at second base. 2-1 deliveries fouled off. 2-2. Heck of a ball game from both sides of it. The Orioles after this sweep of the Twins, something they have not had in a 3-game series against the Twins here in Baltimore since 2002. They had the 4-game sweep last year in Minnesota. Did he go? Yes, he did. Home plate umpire the call. He can't believe it. Bill Welke didn't ask for help.
Well, it's not only velocity, it's movement. Watch this ball run away from the bat head. And he tries to hold up that bat head well out in front of home plate. You can see Matt Wieters pointing to the third base umpire. That's his call, even though Welke made it behind the plate. 14 ground ball outs. Go along with 3 strikeouts.
And only 2 walks in the game. Here's Burrows, who has struck out and grounded out. John Burrows with a runner at second base, 1 away. Dangerous hitter. He's got power.
And switch hitter too, and only one lefty in the Oriole bullpen. That's Troy Patton.
Here's the 1-0 delivery. That'll be up high and away. And the count goes to 2-0. So you go almost immediately from a ball game, or what you were concerned with was whether or not Hammel might make history with a no-hitter, to can the Orioles hang on and win this ball game.
And Captain Chaos warming up in the bullpen.
And that's going to miss. And the tank may be getting close to empty for the Orioles starter.
Yeah, and I think really what you made a great point. Burrows, you look at the ball, you know that down the tying runs at home plate, 2-0. You try to get a breaking ball over. Your command's gone a little bit. That's how you got to 2-0.
And he walked it.
Yep.
So the third walk of the ball game puts 2 on with Luke Hughes due up. With runners on at first and second base. The first time in this ball game that the Orioles starter Jason Hammel has faced 4 hitters in an inning. He had faced the minimum number of batters through 7. The 2 walks prior to this inning were taken out by double plays. Here is Luke Hughes. Big cut. He struck out and grounded out. Hughes 223 last season in 287 at bats, 7 home runs, 30 RBIs. 0-1 pitch to him. Same pitch, same result.
Yeah, man, a good one. I mean, there is no doubt he's fatigued. You could just see it when he just came out of his windup to Burrows on the three ball count. But again, they like this matchup. Just kind of like old time baseball. You're going to start it, maybe not finish it, but at least you're going to get out of this. And pulls that one way outside. And
good stop. That's a big stop by Wieters. Yeah. With 1 away here, you move these 2 runners up to second and third, and it all changes.
And that's just a slider that keeps going away from him.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Hughes. And he got him.
Yeah, the backup curveball. He thinks it's inside. Slider, slider, slider. Hook. I'm going to have a couple of words with Bill Walke. Yep, inside corner. The backup curveball.
Alexi Casilla is going to come on to run at first base for Burrows. Ron Gardenhire trying to get himself in a position to get this ball game tied up with that speed at first base.
And they're going to pinch hit with Chris Parmelee, who started the first 2 games. Actually, he's had some pretty good at bats. Not a lot to show for it. Single in the first game.
And another hitter has got some power.
Yeah.
First and second, 2 down, 8th inning. Twins breaking up the no-hitter by Jason Hammel here in the 8th on a leadoff double by Morneau, who scored on a follow-up double by Willingham. Almost got away as that one slips.
Well, he had 10 extra base hits and 76 at bats. Talking about Chris Parmelee when he got called up.
Parmelee has picked up 1 hit, 7 at bats in this series. 1-0 count. Willingham at second base. Casilla at first. The 1-0 pitch. He got it in off the end of the bat. Shallow right. Markakis under it. Got it. What a job by Hammel. Even with that tank close to empty, and the fans know it and give him a standing ovation as he comes off with a 3-1 lead.
Take a look at our Geico highlights. Orioles early lead, home run number 1. J.J. Hardy, and then the rest is up to Jason Hammel's no-hitter going into the 8th inning. Sinkers. Here it is. Morneau with a double off the wall to start it. The Twins would come with up runs, but the Orioles with a couple of tack-on runs, add-on runs back in the 7th. And it's still 3-1. I mean, what an inning for him. Not only, I mean, nobody stays in a game like that nowadays.
Dropped. Play made at first as Mauer gets the coverage by Jeff Gray. Wieters retired. 0 for 4 day for Matt Wieters, and 1 down in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Yeah, you really can't guess. I can't speak for Buck Showalter, but I think a lot of it had to do with the way that Jason was pitching, the pitch count. You know, again, Kevin Gregg did not have a real good spring, so you're going on. Who do I want to go with? Earl Weaver used to always tell me that nobody better out there. It's not always the case. But I think right there, he just felt a lot of confidence in Jason Hammel and made some big pitches.
Parmelee stays in right field. Hughes is now in at third base, moving from second, and Casilla stays in the game at second base. So Hughes, Carroll, Casilla, and Parmelee in the outfield. 1-0 count on Nick Johnson. Johnson hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Helped to set up the 2 RBI double delivered by Betemit that put runs 2 and 3 across after the Hardy home run in the 1st inning. Matt Maloney worked an inning and 2/3 in relief for the Twins, gave up 2 runs, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Anthony Swarzak, the starter, a run on 4 hits in 5 innings. That homer in the 1st inning by Hardy. Nick Johnson inside. Little dance music right there. Gray with a fastball that was down and in at toe level.
They're going for the shins.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to Johnson, and he rips it, and it's foul. Attendance 14,738. 14,738, and they've gotten to see a great ball game on this Sunday, and a tremendous starting performance by Jason Hammel of the Orioles. A no-hitter through 7 innings, and a leadoff double by Morneau that ended it in the 8th. And looking for his first win in his debut with the Orioles. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that's going to be inside and low. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count. He's not going to go anywhere. He's sitting watch.
Well, why not?
And that hit him. So one that almost did, and that one did. So that's twice he's been hit by a pitch in the game.
I mean, he really pulls this one. It looked like it got the front thigh. Here comes Ron Gardenhire after the batsman. So Brian Dunsing, we saw him again, came in and recorded a couple of strikeouts in the opening game.
Now this will be the 4th pitcher used by the Twins in the ball game. Orioles up 3-1. pitching coach talking to a very happy starter.
I want to hang around with that guy. Wow, both of them. Anyway, Brian Dunsing, a couple of batters he faced, struck out both Markakis and Jonesy on opening day. Last year, starter, lost 5 in a row, so he dominated lefties. They only hit .217. That's probably what he's going to be. He's not going to be a starter. He'll be a guy that comes out of the bullpen.
Orioles trying to add some runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading it by a score of 3-1. The O's have left 7 on. The Twins have left a couple in the ball game. The Orioles with a runner at first base, Nick Johnson, who was hit by a pitch. Betamit, a big 2 RBI double. That came in the 6th inning. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. 2 for 6. Ball gets away. Here's the throw by Domet, and got him. A little late start, the hesitation there. Not sure if he wanted to go, and Domet was able to find it and get him.
Now you're caught on balls in the dirt. You just go, and there's that little stutter step. A nice throw on the money. Nice little tag by Casilla.
2-4 put out, not a caught stealing. And there are 2 down, bases empty. So Betamit up there with nobody on and 2 down. 1-0 delivery on the way, and a grounded towards short. Carroll's got it. Will make the play, and that will retire the side. So the Orioles need 3 outs to get a sweep in the first series of the year. We'll go to the 9th. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer with you as the Orioles look to sweep the Twins. Here's Jim Johnson.
He's made, let's see, well, opening day, the save, 8 in a row at the end of last year. Span's going to try to get on. What do they say about leadoff guys? Well, you only usually lead off 1 time. Well, he's done it all 4. Led off the inning all 4 times for the Twins, trying to get on base.
Trying to get 10 saves in a row. That's Andino on the backhand, and hurries it over to get the out. Span retired and 0 for 4 in the game. 1 away in the top of the 9th inning.
So you get 1 ground ball pitcher, 14 of the first 21 outs by Jason Hammel on the ground, and Jimmy Johnson can sing them with the best of them.
That will bring up Carroll, then Mauer due up. Carroll is 0 for 3 in the ball game, 0 for 10 in the series.
And you know what the Twins are saying, just get a guy on base and take our chances, especially with Mauer and Morneau behind him.
Orioles had 5 sweeps in the season last year, including one against the Twins in Minnesota. 0-1 delivery, trying to start this season with a sweep. Time to Cast your ballot for our AT&T Player of the Game. There are the numbers so far. Text in your vote, ABUC 51862. The results on the O's Extra post-game show. Late on that one, off the end of the bat. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, the great sinker, 93 to 95, and then a swooping curveball and a changeup that the bottom drops out of. Of course, when you're late in the fastball, you're always wondering, do I want to speed up the bat? Let's see what they do here. There's the curveball.
Outside, stopped by Wieters. Last time the Orioles started 3-0 at home was back in '97. Orioles have a chance to do that with a victory here and have victories go to their starters.
And that was the last winning year for the Orioles, wire to wire.
2-2. That's going to go to short. Hardy. 2 down. Our Burger King game flow has been about the starter. Jason Hammel had a no-hitter through the first 7 innings. Morneau broke it up with a double in the 8th. He left the ball game, a run on 2 hits over 8, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Looks to put the W up as Johnson looks to put up his 2nd save. Oriole fans on their feet. 2 down, 9th inning. Mauer up. Jim Johnson trying to finish it off. It's a strike. Orioles looking for their 7th consecutive win against Minnesota going back to last year. Here's the 0-1. 0-2.
That's the changeup. It dive bombs it way to the outside corner. Joe Mauer didn't want anything to do with it.
Chant of sweep, sweep. 0-2 delivery.
Well, it's a good way. And we've seen the Twin pitchers do it to the Oriole hitters all afternoon to establish the outside corner. At the ankles. Move the feet.
One-two delivery. Mauer is gone. The Orioles win it. They sweep the Twins and start the season 3-0.
Jason Hammel. First time I've seen him pitch in a long time. You can't really get much better than that. No hitter going into the 8th inning.
A great series for the Orioles and particularly for their starters. There's the line. 3-6-0 for the Orioles. 1-2-0 for the Twins. Jason Hammel gets the win.
Stay with us. We're coming back with those extra post game. You know, Rick, it's Easter Sunday. Something special had to happen here at the ballpark. How about Jason Hammel, his Oriole debut, a no-hitter into the 8th inning?
And again, the Orioles put great offense out on the and great defense at the same time. So we got all 3 elements in all 3 games. And what did it all add up to? 3-game win streak for the Orioles.
So Jason Hammel dominates. He wins his Oriole debut. The Orioles go to 3-0. We're coming right back. But for now, back upstairs, Gary and Jim.
All right, Jim, Rick, thanks very much. Jason Hammel, a magnificent performance, had the fans on the edge of their seats, and he joins us here after picking up the win for the Orioles 3-1. Jason, what a great performance. Congratulations. That was outstanding.
Thanks so much.
What was, obviously everything was working today. Did you have the good feel from the bullpen coming out?
Yeah, pretty much warming up. I wanted to work on the two-seamer in the spring, and it was a huge help this game. I was getting behind hitters today, actually, so I didn't really cruise through 8 innings, but two-seamer really helped me out, get a lot of ground balls and quick outs.
We've noticed the starters, your pace for all 3 starters so far, Jason, has really been pretty quick. Intentionally doing that?
Yeah, you want to keep your guys behind you on their toes. They don't want to stand around and just get bored or get lackadaisical. So obviously a good pace, good tempo helps keep the game going, and gets them back in the dugout quick to get some hits.
Nobody wants to talk to you when a no-hitter's going on, of course. When does it come into your mind? I mean, it has to.
I kind of knew once I got through the 6th, and I was actually really calm. I calm through the whole thing. The pitch to Morneau there in the 8th wasn't a bad pitch. Changeup, he kind of just hooked it and just out of the reach of Mark out of Cake, and he made a bad pitch to Willingham, and was able to finish the job at least through the 8th. So. But
you did a great job finishing off the 8th inning. You had to reach back a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah. It was. I wasn't really fatigued, but it was starting to show up. The ball was getting up, hands were getting dry, losing a little bit of command.
Jason, great performance. Congratulations on just a tremendous game.
Thanks a lot.
There's your starter, Jason Hammel, who got the victory. And it was a good one, and the Orioles get the sweep against Minnesota. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow for more O's action. It'll be game 1 against the Yankees. Brian Mattis on the mound for the O's against Ivan Over for the Yankees. Our coverage on Masson begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Jeep. Our game time at 7 o'clock. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Have a great Easter night. Thanks so much for joining us. The Orioles win it by a score of 3-1. This has been a Masson presentation. Coming up next, Jim and Rick, they'll recap this outstanding Sunday. Adieu.